right on the nose.
Okay, we ready? Okay. Call the meeting to order of June 26th, 2023, 4 p.m.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. You never walk alone. I never walk alone, my friend, though you may think you do. For in your sorrow and despair, God always walks with you. There is no hour, no passing day. He is not by your side. And though unseen, He's still there to be your friend and guide. Whenever you think you walk alone, reach out and you will find the hand of God to show the way and bring you peace of mind. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Teresa. Okay, can we have a roll call vote?
Vincent Cutterford,
Here.
Joseph Seibert,
Here.
Teresa DeAndrea,
Here.
Jeffrey Miller, Norman Ritchie,
Here.
Joseph Thomas,
Here.
and Paul Hadzik.
Here. The next thing on the agenda here is to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of April 24th, 2023. We need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meeting for April 24th, 2023.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made by Councilman Thomas and seconded by Councilwoman DeAndrea. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we need a motion to approve the Treasury report for April 2023 and May 2023. We need a motion and a second.
Make a motion to approve the Treasurer's report for April and May of 2023.
I'll second it.
Okay, the motion's been made by Councilman Ritchie and Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. And now we need approval to pay the bills for May 23rd and June 23rd.
I have one question.
Okay, go.
What week?
May 25th. The bills are listed twice.
Oh, are they?
I'm assuming the first one should be taken
Oh,
out.
yeah, right.
That's all.
Any other questions from anyone? Okay, well, we need a motion to approve those bills.
I make a motion we approve the bills for May 2023 and June 2023.
I'll second it.
Was that you?
I'll second it.
Okay. Okay, the motion's been made by Councilman Seibert and seconded by Councilman Cutterford. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Bills are paid. All right, the next thing on the list is the other items of concern from the audience. Anyone have anything, they can stand up to the mic and say what they want to say. And you have 3 minutes to do that. No items of concern? Up here?
Yeah, I'd like to, not as a councilman, but as the president of the Weatherly Hill Climb Association, I'd like to thank Mayor Hadzik and the council personnel, Harold Pudliner and all the borough workers, Tracy. We had one of our better events, and a lot of that's attributed to the help you people give us. When you get out to our events, they're really a community event. So I personally want to take the time to thank everybody, and hopefully things will keep getting better and better down there. And I know everybody in this room also supports all other activities in activities in town. So that's pretty special. We got a nice little thing here. People come from out of town and they really they really appreciate it. We kind of take a lot what we do here in Weatherly for granted, and we're very fortunate to live in a nice little community like this, and I want to thank all you people sitting here. That's all I got.
All right, we'd like to thank you for running it and getting that built up to where it is.
Conditioning.
I would like to take the time to, Joe, to thank you for all the dedication and all the hard work that you do up there. And it is certainly appreciated by the community and a lot of other people. So again, thank you.
You're right. The nicest thing about it is, on Sunday, Doral Hefner came up and we put the fire department into the Hill of Fame, and they really deserve it. They've been there from day one, and I hear on how at midnight when I'm home in bed sleeping, these guys and girls go out. I roll over and go back to bed. They're volunteers. That kind of thing you almost don't hear of anymore, you know. And then when Doral got up there, he mentioned that the fire department, but he also mentioned our hill climb group and all the nonprofits and the people from town that were working corners and stuff. So it's definitely a situation where it's the whole community, not me or not just the hill climb, but everybody. And that's what makes it really special. Drivers come from all over, and we had a guy that's been racing for 60 years the first time he came here, and he said this place is special. So thank you.
I got a little bit on that. Joe, I want to tell you thank you for that honor as a fire company. It was special for us. I know we've been doing it for a long, long time and want to keep doing it. You guys treat us good every event on top of that, but even the drivers, they clap, they applaud us, yell thank you to us when we're going back down to put the trucks away. So, which is very nice to be appreciated, but that was over the top, and it did mean a lot to us, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Business.
Okay, we'll move on to the business that everyone's done their comments. What I'm going to do is take number 1 and number 2, and I think this was in discussion at the last couple of meetings about vacating Part E Street between Mr. D. Francisco's properties and also vacating of 8th Street adjoining his properties. We need a motion to advertise that we are going to vacate those properties for D. Francisco.
I'll make that motion that we advertise to vacate the properties as listed for the Di Francisco.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made by Councilman Thomas and seconded by Councilwoman DeAndre. I don't need a roll call vote on that.
All in favor, sign.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so that's going to be advertised.
Yes.
Number 3 will be for the executive session. So I'm going to skip to number 4, which Harold and I and the chief spoke about. Our civil service list is depleted, and by law, we have to have a civil service list. So we need a motion to have Harold update the civil service list.
I'll make that motion, update the civil service list.
I'll second it.
Who won? Okay, the motion's been made by Councilman Cuttaford, seconded by Councilman Ritchie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Harold, you'll start updating
Yes.
the list. Okay. Now, number 5, just real brief, and I'll let Harold explain the rest. Up at the new pumping station, or not pumping station, but Tank 2, which is up on West Main Street. We finally, after 20 years, got that painted instead of looking like a rusty cup when you're leaving town and coming into town. And that was from actually COVID money that we got, I'm not sure if that was accidental or not, but we spent it. But it was like $200,000. And so what happened is we log ported that out to clean it up, but there's a lot of wood on the ground, and it's good hard. It's oak. It's hardwood, and we're trying to figure out how to offer it up to people who burn wood instead of letting it go to waste. And you know, I think Harold talked to you about. I think we need they need a waiver in case they would get hurt on borough property, right?
Well, yeah, I think.
Could it be just like a one-sheet thing? So
Well, it
we
could be a
don't
one-sheet
confuse
thing, but I think it was someone's going to have to cut the wood to sizes for logs. So, since there's gonna be people up there with chainsaws, presumably, yes, we want to release.
Okay. And like, we could just do a simple, release.
Yeah, yes.
Releasing us from
Yeah,
that.
we've had prepared releases for different things for the borough, so yes, we
Right.
can do that.
Okay. So, Harold, do you have anything else we want to say there?
No, it is, as you know, they were logging, they took the logs and let the branches, lay. So just a matter of whether you want to say, we can just let it go by the carload, truckload, or whatever, or you want to charge by the truckload. That's entirely the question here.
I make a motion, we just give it away with the, obviously,
Right.
release and everything like that. Things are too expensive as it is.
I'll
Right.
second that motion.
Okay, motion's been
I
made.
didn't hear his motion.
His
Like,
motion
I
was that
understand his motion.
we give
Give the
the,
wood
Give the
away.
wood away.
I'll give it away. Okay.
Yes.
With the waiver.
right.
With the waiver.
Right, and it was seconded by Councilman Thomas. And that in itself is not only is it going to benefit someone who uses wood, it's going to really clean it up, because it does look like, we took a bomb up there. I mean, there's wood, and there's some nice sized wood up there.
Yeah.
So, I guess that the release would be issued,
Out of the office here.
okay.
Is there access for vehicles? for
Yes,
people?
yes,
Okay, just so you know
absolutely.
that.
Yep,
Coming off of West Main.
I'm sorry?
Coming off of West Main.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
yeah. So, all those in favor, to give that away, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
We have the second end of that,
Oh, yeah,
the items to put on municipal bid.
I told you I didn't read the book. But, everybody saw the items that are gonna go on municipal bid?
Yes.
And mainly it's, vehicles?
Vehicles and some dirt bikes and such.
For general information, how do you obtain getting on the municipal bid?
We have an account.
Okay.
We've had an account for years that you guys have approved, council has approved things that we put on municipal bid.
Okay.
So, I guess we needed another motion, because I sort of forgot I was so excited about giving the wood away.
You need a motion to sell the 8 line items?
Right.
I'll make that motion to sell the 8 line items by a municipal bid.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made by Councilman Thomas, seconded by Councilman Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it. Start giving and selling. Okay. Next thing on the agenda is, it just says contractor's license, but, go ahead.
As your last meeting, you had a conversation about bringing back the contractor's license, and Mr. Nanovic had informed us by sending the letter to me, which I put in your book. And Jim, if you just want to elaborate on it.
The elaboration is we can't do it. We're not
Okay.
allowed, when the state adopted the Home Improvement Act, it specifically provides that municipalities cannot require local registration. So it's only through the state level.
And I don't think we need a motion on that.
You don't need a motion, it was just something we were going to look into, and we looked into it.
Right. Does anybody have any questions about that? The state,
I got a question. Why do some of the contractors have to be licensed and you could get people just coming into town or wherever doing work, and they don't have to carry a license.
I can't answer how, what, you mean like plumbers and electricians
Yeah,
that get
like
licensed and
carpenters,
others?
whatever, yeah,
They're supposed to all be licensed, Joe.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, I didn't know if we could,
It's up
there's
to,
anything we could do. but
I
we
would
can't.
say it's up to the homeowner to ask for the license.
Ask for the license, and if someone doesn't have the license, they can report them to the Attorney General. I'm not sure if anything comes of it, but you can.
So the license itself also goes along with the certificate of workers' comp?
Yes?
Yes, in order to get the license, you have to show proof of insurance.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions on that? How long ago was that? I remember when they changed that.
15 years?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, because that was confusing back then when they changed that law. Okay, now, should I take these individually?
I would, yes.
Okay. All right, the next on the list is for Mr. Joseph Sparrish, vacating the road of Fell Street. So we're going to advertise that?
Well, I guess that's, whatever you'd like to do. I guess the question is, and Harold sent everybody the map, or maybe just give it
Right,
to
we
him
got it.
now. And is he the only one affected? I'm trying to think of where Joe's property is.
Yes.
Actually,
Well,
It's right here.
you see it?
Yep. Okay.
The people across the street, the Gerhardts,
So they would have to sign also then?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
He was aware of that.
Okay. So yes, you could advertise it, and then we'd have to put together a petition for him
Petition.
to sign before we actually have, you can make the motion to advertise conditioned upon a petition coming from he and his neighbor.
Right.
Well, after
And-
speaking to Joe about this, I'd like to make that motion that we advertise for the vacation of Fell Street adjoining his property.
I'll second it.
We usually have them pay for the
Oh,
fees.
I will contact them and let them know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I was gonna do the same thing with DeFrancisco. I was gonna contact them saying, here's the estimated cost. Yeah.
No doubt. Attorneys don't do anything for anything, do they? For nothing.
I get paid either way, Peter. Just a question for the benefit of the borough.
Yeah, you're so nice.
I am.
Okay, so we have the motion. Did you get that motion,
Yes,
Lori?
just to advertise the vacation of
But,
Fell
yeah,
Street.
for the Sparrows property. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it. Move for another vacation. Next on the list is for Mr. Brian Markochik, vacation of Fell Street as well. You know what
Yeah,
you
I'll make the motion for Brian Markochik to also advertise for the vacation of his section, that portion of Fell Street.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made by Councilman Thomas and seconded by Councilman Ritchie.
We have the same thing. We have to have him and his neighbor sign a petition to put that in.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Ayes have it. Enjoy the vacation, Chief. And last thing on our business, well, it's not our last actually, because we're going to go into executive session. But it's about fishing at Urana Park. And I'm going to let Councilman Thomas talk about it because I do not fish. And I don't hunt.
We've had several discussions with the possibility of it going into this endeavor, which will include the Urana Park pool, pond. And what we're coming up with this idea that we were going to minimize the swimming area, but still allow swimming, but we'll minimize the swimming area. We can have better control of the swimming area with the lifeguards. And as we do that, then we were going to extend the rest of the pond into some sort of a fishing experience. And our thoughts were that we could introduce fly fishing for the residents of town with lessons. We have volunteers who are willing to give fly fishing lessons or other types of fishing. In order to do this, we had to do some advanced planning, and what we've done is we met with the Pennsylvania Fish Commission and some of their biologists, and personally met with an individual who owns a hatchery, and she was very kind enough to bring 12 nice-sized palomino fish, and we put them into the water, and we've been checking every day, and we're seeing the fish. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to take a walk around Urana Park, pool or pond, and I was able to see tadpoles, frogs, minnows. So there's an abundance of aquatic life to support this. And we put them in there about 4 weeks ago, maybe.
Yep.
And we have yet to have any of the fish go belly up. So they are surviving, which leads us to the point that into our next round of discussions to do this, we're going to discuss about logistics, other stocking, more stocking, of course, and the fishing parameters itself. Perhaps the rental of poles, the selling of bait, things of this nature. And of course, we'll have to come up with some guidelines as to the hours that we would allow it. For instance, if the park manager leaves at 3 or 4, and we have lifeguards there, and they would leave at 5 or whatever it is, we would kind of work out the time frame with the respective individuals who are there. It wouldn't cost the borough no overtime to maintain that, because we would shut that down at a given point in time when the time would allow us. But we feel that it would be an opportunity for a lot of the seniors in town, senior citizens in town who enjoy fishing, perhaps don't have the transportation, perhaps don't have the means, and it's right here. And several questions were that why would we allow fishing in the same proximity of swimming? Well, if you go to Beltsville, you go to Mock Chunk, you go to Hickory Run, these are just 3 of the known areas that are close by. Of course, you do have fishing and swimming, and in some of the bigger areas, you have boating as well. So it's a great mix, and it's something that we would like to extend after we work out all the details. It's been proven to us that the aquatic life is there. It's been proven to us that we can do this based on that experiment. So we're gonna try to extend some more details, and then when we do, then forthcoming will be a final decision and an announcement to go in that direction. And again, it's just to give an opportunity to our citizens, our senior citizens, and others who are handicapped or whatever the case may be, and who have enjoyed fishing in the past and had to give it up. And now we're going to offer an opportunity for them to get back into the waters with the fishing pole. Any questions?
No, I just wanted to say that these students from the high school, the science class, they did multiple tests on the water, and it's spot on, it's perfect for trout. And they were the same students that raised 400 baby trout in the Trout in Schools program that they have up in the science class in the aquarium. And they were already stocked in the Lehigh River.
And to add to that, there was no cost for the Fish Commission to come in and do the test. There was no cost for the biologist to offer some expertise to that. And of course, the individual who has the hatchery, she very generously gave us a dozen of prize palomino fish, and of course offered her extreme knowledge of the situation as well. So right now it's a no cost to the taxpayers, and if this thing works out, it could be a gem.
Anybody else have any comments on
I
that?
just have a question. Have you decided like how Or is it still under study how small we're gonna make the swimming area? Like,
Well, I think.
if anybody who knows the pool, like, the, you know,
I think the one study we did was 4,000 square feet, we would need 2 lifeguards. Now, I know a couple times last year when I went down for lunch, and we'd have 4 lifeguards because of the area of the whole dam. And there'd be 3 people swimming in the.
And there was another question to add to what Vinnie just said. There's another question that was brought to my attention, and it certainly makes a lot of sense. That if we reduce the swimming area, therefore we may have a larger grouping of swimmers, and maybe we will put a 3rd lifeguard there because you may need an additional set of eyes to keep a closer watch on the confined area where we'll have more swimmers instead of the extended area. So we may very well consider, I'm sure we'll go with 3 lifeguards. I think the problem is getting the lifeguards, is that correct?
No,
No.
we have them.
Okay, very good.
We have a problem with getting the water because of the drought.
Yeah.
Going over the
Yeah,
overflow.
yeah.
But maybe not happen tonight.
And I saw yesterday where the circulating pumps are just starting to break the surface. So,
I got a question. Years ago, we were donated 4 paddle boats. Now, by decreasing the swimming area, would you be able to consider maybe using them, or wouldn't that go with the?
It wouldn't go with the fishing.
Okay.
Good
but
question.
again, the question, based on the paddle boats, we've also discussed the possibility of having paddle boats to use either to fish from or just to paddle around the pond.
Well, having the paddle boats requires additional lifeguards. Because having the paddle boats out there, then we need lifeguards with boating training.
Okay.
We've gone through that before.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, just what we're going to save in chemicals alone, if we went that direction, would be huge, and an extra income.
Still have to test the water and stuff though, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, because
Regularly.
if it doesn't
Colorful.
flow, it's
Yeah.
ammonia builds up and different things, especially when you start putting more fish.
Yeah, and in the beginning, we will have the waters tested weekly if we have to. But based on what you were saying about the chemicals, we actually stopped putting chemicals in last year. So it gave us over the winter, and then of course when we had the dam drain, that gave us an opportunity for the rain and whatever else to kind of nullify the chemicals as well. So with the increase of aquatic life and the fish not going belly up, it seems like the not using of the chemicals for that period of time has worked out well.
So if you want to give us some thought, maybe at our next meeting, we could discuss, I don't know how much we have to move forward here. We can't do anything until water overflows.
Right.
The biologist told me that there has to be movement for the drought.
We'd just like to have a consensus of council that they want to move forward with it.
What's everybody think about it?
I like the idea. I go out there quite a bit for milkshakes.
Well, but I think he already got the 4 pound or the
They
12
tasted the
pound.
same, yeah.
He texted me and said, this palominos taste the same as brown trout. I said,
Yeah,
oh,
when I go out there, the pool's really not used that much. I mean, it's been pretty cool summer so far.
right.
It's been very cold.
But you think it may be a good idea? Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not
I'm
gonna get
on
you.
the fence about it.
I know. I love your fence.
It's a big fence.
I guess one question, I guess the option is, with the lack of swimmers we have, obviously closing it down,
Right.
shrinking the pool area is wise, and to do that.
Right.
It can always be expanded, right? If it starts getting busier, we can expand a little more if we had to. If
As
we-
long as you have the lifeguards
Lifeguards,
to, and generally, once you get past June, you're not gonna pick up any more
Right,
lifeguards. You'd have to look at it toward the next
for
season.
the year to year, or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's not set in stone, this is now the size of the
Right. I
pool,
think
that's it.
the
Yeah.
important thing here is that if there's a consensus of council for us to move forward with this, Are we gonna have to do any like landscaping work that's safe for people to sit on?
We're gonna look at that, you know, as far as, you know, what we have to do as far as people safely, you know, standing.
I'm okay with it.
I like the idea. It sounds like there's been a lot of effort going to it so far. You know, kind of be a shame to just kick that to the side, you know?
I mean, it would be something new. And I agree with Joe with, like the educational idea to that, like for the younger children that want to learn how to fish. That Dad could take them there, Mom could take them there, and they'll probably catch fish if he didn't catch them all.
Fishing from the fence.
No, because I saw them yesterday.
Well, that's why we got orange ones,
That's why we got orange ones.
so you could count them. So, yeah, with
Would you,
everybody seems like, how about you, Teresa?
We
You're-
could give it a try.
Yeah, you like deep sea fishing though, don't you?
could we have any opinion from the audience on?
I don't think yet.
Okay,
I don't think we should.
okay,
How about, maybe,
whatever.
but Norm, how about you? I don't think you would,
That sounds like a good idea,
okay.
to just retired people something to do.
Yeah,
Must be nice.
and you could night fish since you're the only one that works. Yeah, does anybody have anything about that, or the wood thing? Go ahead, but you got to talk to Mike. Oh, I didn't know who raised their hand first there. Your name?
Dominic DeFrancisco. You think about any restriction on treble hooks or in spinners and stuff? Because you know, if they lose it in the pond and then it kind of floats its way
Yeah,
over
we
to
have
the
to work
swimming
that
area.
out. Yeah,
Right.
good, excellent point, excellent point.
Bruce Hoig, when you say reduced a swimming area, you're just talking about moving the ropes in tighter so that...
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so it's, visually it's no different than it is now.
Right. Anybody else?
Okay.
Heather, Fisherman? Fisher Woodland?
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion to go into executive session. We have 2 contracts we have to talk about. So,
I'll make a motion to go into executive.
I'll second that.
okay, the motion's been made by Councilman Seibert, seconded by Councilman Thomas. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, we are now going to go into executive session.
Topics.
Yeah. situated? Okay, so we're back in regular session, and we're going to look for a motion to vote to authorize the council team that's negotiating the contract with Packer Township Fire Company to negotiate.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, the motion's been made by Councilman Cutterford and seconded by Councilman, I almost said Cyber, sorry.
Other Joe.
He's over here. Thomas. And all those in favor say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Okay.
Question from the table? Commission?
Yeah, I'm easy.
Negotiate a contract to what?
Provide fire protection.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
If you got PUC and I'm thinking, wait a minute,
Oh, no,
that's something different.
That's something different.
I thought I said fire contract.
No, but,
Well,
I
let's see.
didn't hear, I'm getting old. That's on me, I'm sorry.
All right.
I can take it.
So the ayes had it. So you'll start negotiating the fire contract with Packer Township. And the next vote, we're going to vote to authorize the same group to negotiate with the museum. I believe their contract has already expired, or least. And we need a motion to authorize them to negotiate that lease.
I'll make a motion to authorize the committee to make a lease with the museum people.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Okay, the motion's been made by Councilman Miller and seconded by Councilman Seibert. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The ayes have it.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So when the motion for the fire contract and museum contract, is that the motion for Jim to
Yes.
write up a preliminary?
That's the way I understood it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, so that's not the way I wrote it down.
I understand.
Okay, so how long will that take for you to
Tomorrow morning.
really?
West.
I doubt it.
Sometime after the 4th, which is next
Which month?
Tuesday
Which is after
of
Monday.
July.
Okay.
You said you needed one of them. I know you wanted it by the end of July, so it'll be by the beginning of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get it to them.
Well, I'm going to get it to Harold, who will
Right, get it to
Okay.
them.
pass
Oh,
it.
now you're telling me what to do.
No, I'm telling him what to do.
Oh,
He's
okay.
pointing at me.
That's
So,
fine.
with that said,
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
I'll second.
it's been made by, to adjourn by Councilman Ritchie and seconded by, look at this one, Teresa, Councilwoman DeAndrea. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The ayes have it.